of America, bringing you some news you can use. We are live at IntellectualRadio.com, which is an iHeartRadio station, where we're definitely here to give you a great intellectual dialogue hour. In this hour, we're going to be sharing some information, giving introspection, and providing some inspiration. Don't forget, you can tune in, you can call in and answer the Feed Your Brain trivia question. The quick question for today is to get that gift card. What's the worst hour of the day for car accidents? What's the worst hour of the day for car accidents? Is it A, 7 a.m.? Is it B, 4 p.m.? Or is it C, 2 a.m.? Again, what's the worst hour of the day for car accidents? Is it A, 7 a.m., B, 4 p.m., or C, 2 a.m.? You are tuned in to Making Waves with Miss Darci every Tuesday and Thursday right here on IntellectualRadio.com. And I can promise you, we make regular waves, tidal waves, and who knows what other kind of waves we're going to be making today. Don't forget, starting next month, you get a chance to enter the entrepreneurship giveaway, Compliments of American Express. Tune in and find out how you can win. You can win $200 cash. And we're going to tell you how you can do that and what you have to do to be a contestant to win that $200 cash. If you don't know what to do with that $200, then hit me up. I'm sure I can find a way to help you spend that $200. In the studio, we are pleased to have the one and only one-man play, Mr. Rabia Lewis Haynes. He's going to be joining us shortly. We're going to get up close and personal, ask him about the one-man play. If Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were alive today, one-man play. That means he's playing all the characters, all the sounds. You have to tune in, and we're going to let you know how you can go and see the one-man play. And then if you have any questions, we're going to tell you how you can call in to ask questions for this entrepreneur who is definitely on the move. So before we do that, I'm going to give you a little synopsis of one of his, what I want to say, characters in the one-man play. So don't go anywhere. You know how we roll. Grab you something to eat or drink, a snack, Instagram a friend, tweet a friend, Facebook someone, and tell them to get tuned in to IntellectualRadio.com, because Making Waves with Miss Darci is about to get started. Now, I know some of y'all don't drink coffee and tea. Some of y'all like 1800, whatever works for you. If you like it, I love it. So go get it, whatever it is, and get tuned in. So we got some bills to pay. Don't go anywhere. Making Waves with Miss Darci, IntellectualRadio.com, which is an iHeartRadio station. Back in a moment.
An iHeartRadio station, Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. We love you, Miss Darci.
Hey, this is Lenny Williams, and I enjoy listening to IntellectualRadio.com and Making Waves with Miss Darci.
It's a new year and the first anniversary of our revolutionary acne treatment. To celebrate, we have an amazing new offer for you. Order Proactive Plus, and for a special limited time, you'll pay just $19.95. Imagine yourself with skin so clear and beautiful, you feel confident to go after all the things you want. Make it happen today with Proactive Plus.
That's a huge difference. Look at that. Proactive Plus makes me feel amazingly beautiful.
Proactive Plus is dermatologist developed to help seek out and fix problem areas on your skin. And it's proven to work 4 times faster than the leading prescription.
This product is doing it. I started seeing results with Proactive Plus within the first week.
Now's the best time ever to order, because we're offering extra savings to first-time customers. Call 1-800-773-5681 to get our 3-step system plus free gifts and free shipping. All just $19.90.
Use Proactive Plus every day. Like, I literally use this stuff.
Is unused possibilities, but yet, my friends, this Christmas hope for peace and goodwill toward all men can no longer be dismissed as a kind of pious dream of some utopia. If we don't have peace and goodwill toward men in this world, we will destroy ourselves by the misuse of our own instruments and our own powers. Wisdom born of experience should tell us that war is obsolete. There may have been a time when war served as a negative good by preventing the spread and growth of any evil force, but the very destructive powers of modern weapon of warfare eliminates the possibility that war can any longer serve as a negative good. So if we are to assume that life is worth living, if we are to assume that mankind has the right to survive, then we must find an alternative to war.
Wow. Okay. Boy, that took back some memories. That was the one and only. I'm going to let him introduce himself. That was one of the many sounds. Introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Rabia Lewis Haynes.
Okay, give us your name again.
Rabia Lewis Haynes.
And it is so nice to meet you. So now that was one of your voice characters, should I say, or is there another name for that? Because that sounds just like Dr. Martin Luther King. It made me have a flashback.
Yeah, well, that's just one of the characters that's in the play. I actually, a lot of people try to play Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And they always find something wrong with him. Like, you too fat, you too skinny, you too old, you too young, you too dark, you too light.
Okay.
So I don't play Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. What I do is play a character named Bobby, who, when he finds himself in tough situations, he transforms into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I find that it's been more received. It's been received quite well that way.
Because can't nobody really play Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Just like anybody else. We have all the autobiographies of individuals once they're passed, and we have someone portray them, and it's never the same. Just like Whitney Houston. No one has a voice to me like Whitney Houston. So
Absolutely.
Even though they have someone to play her character, it's still not Whitney Houston. No. So I like the fact that you said you have another person and then all these other persons submerge from that person. So tell us, what made you decide to do the play, one man play, and how did you come up with the name?
Well, this goes way, way back, Miss Darci. So I want to say good morning, good afternoon to America, whether it's morning, wherever you at, or afternoon, wherever you at. And then I'm also saying good morning and afternoon to Chicago, because this is where it began.
Okay.
As a child, I grew up in the Chicago Robert Taylor projects. And my mother, she was inspirational in me really doing this as well. She used to watch us play downstairs as a child. I was about maybe 8, 9, 10 years old. And I used to be playing downstairs, and we lived on the 9th floor. And she used to holler, down, y'all need to come upstairs and eat something. We would just play. We'd rather play. Only time we did come in was to eat or use the bathroom. She used some different words, but
we can't use them on there. I can imagine what she
can't use them on the word on there. Yeah. So I would come in the house, and then the only time my mother would get some time to spend with me was I would come in the house to eat or use the bathroom, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s voice would be on the radio or on TV, and it would keep me in the house, and my mother was amazed at that. So later, I had no idea that it was shaping and forming the way that it was with me at that time. I was just a child. Okay. But later, I find myself in drama college, and then I find myself getting roles that had this clairvoyance to the character, certain clairvoyances to the characters. Sam Cooke, I played him once in the play, these kind of characters. And so, I come to terms with the struggles of, wanting to become an actor. It's a difficult field. There's a great challenge involved in that. And no one recognizes you as just an actor. So I said, I got to figure out something. So I say, well, I'll parlay all the talents together. I began to learn how to write. And I began to learn how to direct. So I say, that's the way, if the critics do show up, they can't miss me. I'm writing, I'm directing, then I'm performing the place. Yeah. Right. Then I was lucky and fortunate enough to get a job on the product knowledge side of things with Mickey Stevenson and Smokey Robinson. Of course, you know, Mickey Stevenson was the Mr. Motown guy. Barry Gordy will tell you that himself, that in the early days when they didn't know what an A&R person was, Mickey Stevenson was putting all of the right acts together. You know, he made that sound, you know, of course, with the Funk Brothers at that time, and he made that sound. So I became the technical director and stage manager for the play The Gospel Truth from Los Angeles to New York.
Wow.
So I learned all my product knowledge there, you know, how to design lights, design sound, all this type of things, you know, sets, hang sets, flies.
You started learning how to put the producing and directing, but you also learned what went on behind the scenes. What went on behind the scenes, all of that together. Okay.
It's not that I could do it all, you know, but when you don't have a budget, then you have to do it. But then even when you have a budget, at least you know what to look for in the person that you hired to do it.
Yes.
You know, so because a lot of times, you know, you have to, you know, some of the failures in that business is either going over budget or coming under budget.
Or not having the right person. Said they have the skill, but they really don't have the hands-on.
Right.
Because anybody can graduate with knowledge.
Absolutely.
And full of knowledge. But once you get that piece of paper, you can go fill out 20 resumes from the Sun-Times or the Tribune on a Sunday night. But then the first thing they're going to ask, okay, yeah, you are a college graduate or you are undergraduate, but do you have any hands-on experience? And so if you just graduated, you really don't have any hands-on. And most of the times you are denied because of not having hands-on experience. That's why I like having mentors, and I also like having interns, because as they're learning to get that piece of paper, they can also work in that field to get the experience. So now when they graduate, they can say, not only do I have the piece of paper, but I got the hands-on. Just call up Miss Darci or call up Earl Winfrey, and they can vouch for me.
Yeah.
So that's good, because now you learn what goes on in front of this camera and what goes on behind the camera.
And you need that.
So how did you come up with the name One Man Play?
Well, because it's not a keynote speaker. you know, a lot of times. You
are the keynote speaker.
You know, a lot of times the keynote speaker, you know, you get, you know, Bill Clinton and these type of people are keynote speakers, and they get invited somewhere to a school or university or something to speak, and they just stand behind the podium and they give a keynote, you know, 15 to 20 minutes. But here, what you're going to get in One Man is an actual play. One man is playing all the characters. You know, people get restless watching that one man for an hour and 15 minutes, not 20 minutes, but an hour and 15 minutes, unless something dynamic is happening. So sets has to be changing. Sound has to be, you know, gradually changing backwards and forward. Lights has to be flashing. Things has to be going on. Wardrobe has to be changing in order for you to recognize the difference in it's another character coming now. Who is this? And then it all has to tie together. It has to make sense. And so this character that I play is a guy named Bobby who comes home from Vietnam. I began there because I think that was the road to Dr. Martin Luther King, to us losing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I believe. You know, because he was assassinated, as we all know, April the 4th, 1968, and it was in the thick of things.
Right there. Why do you believe that was the road leading up to his assassination?
Because, you know, Dr. Martin Luther King was a man of the cloth. He, you know, he had so many works to do. You know, his attention was being pulled for so many different things, for voters' rights, for, you know, labor workers. And then when he began to talk about the Vietnam War, and he said, you know, it's been many months now since I found myself obliged by conscience to end my silence to take a public stand against my country's war in Vietnam. The consideration which led to that painful decision have not disappeared, but indeed has been magnified by a course of events since then. The impact on my country is even more destructive, but I cannot speak about the great themes of violence and of nonviolence and of social change and of hope for the future without reflecting on the tremendous violence of Vietnam. Since the spring of 1967, when I first made public my opposition to my government's policy, many persons have questioned me about the wisdoms of my decisions. They have said, why you? Peace and civil rights don't mix. Aren't you hurting the cause of your people? And when I hear such questions, I have become greatly saddened, for they mean that the inquirers have never really even known me, my commitment, or my calling. Indeed, that question suggested they don't even know the world in which they live. In explaining my position, I've tried to make clear that I remain perplexed as I'm going to stop right there.
Wow. Okay, we're going to take a pause for the calls. IntellectualRadio.com, Making Waves with Miss Darci. Back in a moment.
Simply prepared fresh fish, premium steaks, an impressive wine cellar, and handcrafted cocktails. Sounds intriguing. Our chic, casual atmosphere suits any occasion with seamless, upscale service and seafood dishes that truly sets us apart from any other seafood restaurant. Throughout the year, we host exclusive dinners, fundraisers, wine tasting events, private parties, and more. Our privileged guests are devoted foodies and are the first to hear about it via email. You must get on the list. We hope you'll join us at our restaurants in Chicago, Illinois, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Oak Brook Terrace, Illinois, and Miami, Florida. Making Waves with Miss Darci every Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. on IntellectualRadio.com and our radio station, where we certainly feed your brain.
I want to spend more time with my family and those who depend on me.
I want to earn a little extra income now that I'm retired.
Work part-time while I put myself through school.
I want the freedom to follow my passion and still earn a good living.
With Uber, it's all possible.
Uber is a smartphone-based app that connects at the push of a button.
Uber is available 24/7.
It fits around my existing schedule, so I can work whenever and wherever I want.
Accept the fare, and a pickup is just moments away.
Riders are charged automatically through the app, and at the end of each week, I receive a direct deposit into my account.
Safe and easy.
Around the globe, Uber is empowering people to be their own boss.
You can run your business the way you want,
without having to give up on what matters most.
I want to earn more, save more, and plan for my future.
I want the flexibility to spend time on what's important to me. I want the security to be able to chase my dreams.
I want to be part of a growing company that's changing the way people move. I want to be an Uber partner.
These 100% beef burgers are stacked with bacon, sweet bourbon sauce, and apparently my mom's fave, spicy sriracha sauce. Eat it, don't tweet it, Mom.
Denny's Big Burger Bash, with burgers starting at $6.99. Denny's, welcome to America's Diner.
Good morning, what can I get for you?
A medium hot coffee, cream and 2 sugars, please.
Medium hot coffee, cream, 2 sugars, sounds good.
At Dunkin', we make your coffee just the way you like it. If not, we'll make it again, on the spot. That's the DD commitment. America runs on Dunkin'.
Good morning, what can I get for you?
A medium hot coffee, cream and 2 sugars, please.
Medium hot coffee, cream, 2 sugars, sounds good.
At Dunkin', we make your coffee just the way you like it. If not, we'll make it again, on the spot. That's the DD commitment. America runs on Dunkin'.
It's 2 for $5 coming at you live.
Hey, sir, welcome to Burger King. How are you? See what he orders.
No pressure. All of America's watching.
Original chicken sandwich, bacon,
Big King! And the foul!
How are you going to lose when you mix and match?
Mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for $5 only at Burger King.
Good morning.
I'm ready to go back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're tuned in to Making Waves with Miss Darci right here on IntellectualRadio.com, which is an iHeartRadio station. The one-man play, you heard the interpretation of Dr. Martin Luther King, and that was so refreshing and make you have flashbacks. So he'll be joining us back momentarily. But I want to go and see if anyone can answer the Feed Your Brain trivia question. If you can, please give us a call here at Intellectual Radio. You want to give them the number, Khalil, to call in?
708-223-8953.
Give it to him one more time.
708-223-8953.
And that question, the quick question for today to win a gift card is, what's the worst hour of the day for car accidents? Is it A, 7 a.m., B, 4 p.m., or C, 2 a.m.? So while we're waiting for the one-man show, I do want to give you some tips on some 7 steps on how to build $1 million empire. So you can join me because I plan on building that $1 million empire. You need 7 streams of income or 5 streams of income that are exceeding over $50,000 a month. So the first thing you need to do or need to have the mindset is to find your gift. Everybody here in America has a gift. We just heard the one-man play. He directs, he produces, he has a personality where he's able to make you think you're listening to another character, which is really unique. So if everybody had the same gift, this would be a very boring world. So everybody has a gift. You have to find what is your raw talent, what is your great skill, what do you have the ability to do. And once you figure out what that is, then you want to be an expert at it, you want to read up on it, you want to study up on it, and then you want to capitalize on it. The next thing you want to know how to do is tell your story. Everybody has a story, but it's not the exact story. As you heard Mr. Haynes, when he first started off his interview today, he told us about as he grew up as a little boy when he was 8 years old and how that affected who he is today. So everybody has a story. You just have to make your story a bestseller. Nobody can tell your story like you. So that story can lead to opportunities, speaking engagement, plays, communication skills. Who are you going to share it with? But the first thing you want to do is be able to perfect your story and make that story a bestseller. So nobody can make that story or tell that story like yours truly. The third thing you want to do is, as you learn how to tell your story, you might want to write a book. You might want to be like Mr. Haynes and produce a play or direct a play. There are so many things you can do with your story. You can have workshops, you can have seminars, you can travel the world telling your story, because your story will impact or inspire someone. You can turn it into a product or a service. then that shows you how to capitalize. I'm going back to number one. You'll be able to capitalize. Imagine capitalizing on your story and making your story, which is the only story, which you are the boss of, and making it $1 million empire. Imagine that. So think about that as you go through life on a daily basis. We all have the same 365 days, 24 hours, 365 days a year and 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with that time? Are you using it wisely? I always say everybody has power. So you can choose to be powerful or powerless. The fourth thing you want to do as you're building your empire and as you're telling your story, making it a product, service, or brand, you want to expand. You want your story to go global. Like this year, 2016, I decided to take my business global. So you have to decide when you want to go global, when you want to go international, when you want to hit different markets, social media markets, how you want to go out to different places and promote who you are, what you do, and tell your story. Because you never know, you may run up on someone who can help you take that story to a whole nother level, which you could have never imagined. Number 5, once you start telling that story, then you want to bring people as you're building your empire, you want to bring people in that are entrepreneurs, business owners, writers, actors. You want to bring them into your circle of influence, because not only can you help them, but they can help you, and you all work together. Because remember, the only way to get to millionaire status is you got to take some people with you. So you got to find the right people. You just can't take everybody. You can't take Pookie and them and Ray Ray and them. I don't know. I mean, some people might can take them with you, but I don't think you can take them with you. But you want to make sure that these individuals have your best interest at heart, and you have their best interest at heart, and you work together. It may not have to always be monetary. You can help expand on each other's business as a barter system, as a mentoring system. They may have some skills they can help you with to take you to the next level, and vice versa. Or they may have some services that you may need. They may have a building, and maybe you need to use their building to hold your play in, and you don't have the funds. And maybe they have social media skills where they can promote your play for you. And that way nobody's exchanging money, but you're both, at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation. But whatever you do in business, whether it's with friends or family, make sure you get it in writing. People fall out over $1 million deals, and y'all think I'm playing. Turn on the TV and watch Judge Judy, Judge Mathis, Judge Million, the People's Court, Judge Maybelline, Supreme Court Karen. And I know I'm missing some folks. People are on there, they ain't got a contract. I was watching it the other day. I wasn't feeling well, and this lady moved into this place, and the lady was going to let her have it was a 3-bedroom condo for half off. So now 3-bedroom condo probably run you between $1,500 and $2,000. It had a bathroom in each bedroom, deck, everything. So she told the lady that they can get it for $1,500. So it was 3 females going to move in, but it needed some work. They didn't want to do the work. So they wanted the landlord, to pay to get the work, but she was already giving them a deal. So they went and got the work done, left her a recorded voicemail message telling her it cost $8,300 to get certain things done. They didn't like the carpet. They didn't like the color. So they're going to tell her that in a voicemail message they recorded and taped on their phone that she has to have these things done. Nothing was in writing. She never agreed to it, and they end up in court. And so the judge was like, well, did you talk to her? We left her a voicemail message. Did she return a phone call? No. And so you went out and spent all this money and got all this stuff done to somebody else's property, and now you want to be reimbursed $8,300. Have you lost your ever-loving mind? Seriously? So you have to, if you're going to do something for somebody, if you're going to pass out 100 flyers, you're going to go speak for them. If they got letterhead, you need something in writing that your signature is on, their signature's on, what you're going to agree to do. You sign and date it, they sign and date it. You make a copy, they get a copy. You screenshot it with your cell phone. You know, we got Androids, we got iPhones, we got all this technology. If it's not in writing, you don't have a leg to stand on. You don't have a leg to stand on. So there's just a couple of the things that you can do to start your journey on the millionaire status. in 1 year. If you would like to get more information and more tools, then join me on my Facebook group page called The Letter D Millionaire Mindset Movement. And we're giving information on a daily basis on what you should be doing to build your streams of income and also expand on your business, whether it's a product, service, or brand. And then we're asking individuals in the group to share their ideas. And then we have different days with different things where you can share and receive information. So join the Letter D Millionaire Mindset Movement. I'm telling you, it's going to show up in a state near you. We got some bills to pay coming back up. The one and only, the One Man Play. IntellectualRadio.com. Back in a moment.
Garnishments, losing your apartment, house, or car? Then call us for your debt relief options. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Chapter 7 or 13 can relieve the debt pressure. Call us now for a free phone mini consultation or log on to infotapes.com. We're the law firm you trust to get you out of debt.
1-800-401-4010.
Are bill collectors calling you? Are you afraid to answer the phone? Afraid of lawsuits, garnishments, losing your apartment, house, or car? Then call us for your debt relief options. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Chapter 7 or 13 can relieve the debt pressure. Call us now for a free phone mini consultation or log on to infotapes.com. We're the law firm you trust to get you out of debt.
1-800-401-4010.
It's 2 for $5 coming at July.
Hey, sir, welcome to Burger King. How are you? See what he orders.
No pressure. All of America's watching.
Original chicken sandwich.
Big King! And the foul.
How are you going to lose when you mix and match?
Mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for $5 only at Burger King.
Good morning. What can I get for you?
A medium hot coffee, cream and 2 sugars, please.
Medium hot coffee, cream, 2 sugars. Sounds good.
At Dunkin', we make your coffee just the way you like it. If not, we'll make it again on the spot. That's the DD commitment America runs on Dunkin'.
Good morning. What can I get for you?
A medium hot coffee, cream and 2 sugars, please.
Medium hot coffee, cream, 2 sugars. Sounds good.
At Dunkin', we make your coffee just the way you like it. If not, we'll make it again on the spot. That's the DD commitment America runs on Dunkin'.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, Making Waves with Miss Darci, we have the one and only, the One Man Play. If Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were alive today, and he went into his character at the end of the last break. Mr. Haynes, when you go into the character of Dr. Martin Luther King as you're reciting, what goes through your mind?
Well, generally, you know, when you ask me some questions about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I automatically reflects back to the essence of Dr. King. I really admired that man, you know, and I reflects back to his essence. And when his essence hit me, I feel like speaking that way. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, it's an easy transition. It's not unlike some actors that I know that I went to school with that did the method acting and everything. They got to get in the character and they got to, you know, they get trapped in the character and all that. I think it's just like not that difficult. It's not that complicated.
So when you go into the character and you're changing, I know from a female perspective, if I had to change I don't know how many times do you change? If I had to change 4 or 5 times to play with whatever time frame it would be, if it was 2 hours, it would be 3 hours. So I know you change into the different characters I'm looking at in the different costumes. Mm-hmm. What's the time frame it takes you to do the wardrobe change?
Well, here's a little
from a male perspective.
Here's a little setup. If you can make a mental picture of this. Okay. You know, as a character's coming out on stage. He's got his army clothes on. He's returning from Vietnam. He's in his full fatigues, and he's Bobby. He's this character named Bobby.
Okay.
And he's going through a little episode of, why was he ever even in Vietnam? You don't understand why he was in Vietnam, Saigon, Da Nang, Quang Tri, the Ho Chi Minh Trail. And nobody never told me why 65,000 American soldiers died in Vietnam. And you can't even imagine how many Vietnamese soldiers we killed, but ain't nobody talking about them. Because, a lot of times we do get caught up in American laws. And there's a lot of laws going on all over the world right now. And we need to, sometimes have a sentiment and a prayer for that type of law. So as it pertains to Vietnam, there was a whole lot more than 65,000 lost lives that took place in Vietnam. So he kind of touches based on that. It resonates with that audience. I can feel the audience. It resonates with them.
What was it about when you say you would come inside only to eat and go to the bathroom as a little boy? What is it that you think about when you hear the name Dr. Martin Luther King, what he stood for, what he fought for? And on the caption of your flyer, it says, if Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were alive today, what would come to your mind after that statement? If Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were alive today?
Love comes to my mind. And then in essence of what we see around us today, that difference between what matters and what does not matter.
And when you see, if Dr. Martin Luther King were alive today, looking at the gun violence, the black on black crime, all the senseless killings and because you turn on the news all throughout the day, that's all you see. 8-year-old boy, 4-year-old boy, 3-year-old girl, innocent people could be in their house. Some things happen in the park, walking to school, coming from school, and then you see things happening. You could be in your house and the bullet ricochet into your house. So sometimes it's not even about being with a certain group of people or being at the wrong place at the wrong time, because there is no right. A bullet don't have a name on it. So if Dr. Martin Luther King were here right now, Mr. Hayes, and he saw what was going on in America, in Chicago, what do you think he would say? Everything he's worked hard for. What do you think he would say?
I'm going to try to give you a brief 2.5 minute scenario, what I feel he would say. I'm not going to go into the whole. I want to leave some play for you.
Are you going into his character?
I'm going into.
I got to get equipped for that.
So I'm going to give you about 2.5 minutes of the opening part of what I feel he would say if he was alive today. Of course, we all know I Have a Dream. That's in the play. Peace on Earth, Goodwill Toward All Men. That's in the play. The Trumpet of Consciousness during the Vietnam War. That's in the play. Up on the mountaintop, I See the Promised Land. That's in the play. We have a history part of the play also, where I go out into the audience and I interact with the audience and I do a history of a lot of different works he did. Suffering Faith, Love, Law, and Civil Disobedience. My Trip to the Land of Gandhi. Showdown for Nonviolence. Nonviolence, the only road to freedom. But then when he's assassinated on stage right before your very eyes, he's resurrected. And when he's resurrected, I feel that he would say these things. Because you can't talk about everything in a 1 hour and a 15-minute play, but the way the writing is structured, it insinuates, suggests, and guides you to where you should be.
Take it away.
What I feel God put on my heart, he would say if he was alive today. And everybody has the right to feel what he would say if he was alive today. But I feel God put on my heart, he would say this. First of all, it seems to me that we're spending an awful lot of time dealing with matters which is unwholesome for the kind of creation we were truly made to be. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And that same Word created both you and I and all things that we see around us today. In the beginning, God created both the heavens and the earth. Now the heavens have a purpose, and the earth have a purpose. It has been said in past times that the word Bible, the letters that spell the word Bible, B-I-B-L-E, represents a phrase that relates to us as the basic instructions before leaving Earth. But somehow we can't seem to get those instructions correct. Our priorities has shifted over into insalubrious matters, matters which has been spiked with the juices of a venomous attitude, matters which has the attentions and more energies than it deserves. Instead of concentrating our efforts into the creation of foolish matters, I feel that we should be centering ourselves within spiritual affairs and spiritual matters. Now, God, as we know, has created all things, including the day of rest, in 7 days. Along with the gift of life, God has given us a complete book of instructions. And I feel that only with those instructions can we rise above these belly-crawling matters for which we are plagued today. The serpent of today has not changed its mission, but we continue to allow illusions to dictate what is important. Illusions would have us believe that the O.J. Simpson saga is a matter of important urgency. But I've come here to remind you today that it is far more important to channel your energies toward that which is spiritual. Now, before we get too deeply sown on the essence of religion, you need to know that I am not unmindful that there's many of you here today of a different mind. And I would wish not to offend anyone's belief. Neither do I wish any of you to leave here with a sorrowful heart. Therefore, I'm asking you to keep an open mind and to keep love as an ingredient mixed with that mind. You'll find that love serves as strength in the time of need. So whether you are of the Jewish faith, whether you are of the Christian faith, whether you are of the Muslim faith, whether you are Hindu or Buddhist, Catholic or agnostic, believing that you have no God or that there is no God at all, my only request is that we bond ourselves with the meaning of love, having love as our mutual goal, allowing love to lead us to the other side of what we know on toward that which we know not.
Wow. IntellectualRadio.com, making waves for Miss Darci. Back in a moment.
My name's Christina, and I drive with Uber because it gives me the time to spend with my son.
My name is Paul Roybal, and music's a big part of my life, and Uber allows me to keep it that way.
My name is Liziani. I drive with Uber. It really helps me with my English.
My name is Miles Foster. Uber gives me the space to pursue my dreams.
Hey, this is Lenny Williams, and I enjoy listening to IntellectualRadio.com and Making Waves with Miss Darci.
Hi, my name is Team Olivia Pate. Listen to Making Waves with Miss Darci on IR and iHeartRadio station, Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. We love you, Miss Darci.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in to the one and only the one-man play that was so inspiring and inspirational, If Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Were Here. This play is located at Morgan Park Academy, which is 2153 West 111th Street. General admission is $20. Students and seniors 15, groups of 10 or more. Call. You can go to mlkplay.eventbrite.com. Again, that's mlkplay.eventbrite.com. The play runs through this Sunday. Is that correct?
Through to Sunday. Yeah, matinee on Sunday, 3:30.
Right. So showtime is in the evenings at 7:30, and then there's a 3:30 matinee on Sunday. For more information, what number should they call?
310-864-4038. 310-864-4038.
Well, I am just amazed, honored, and privileged that you could come into Intellectual Radio, be a guest here on Making Waves with Miss Darci to share your inspiration from a child and how that inspired you, and look at where you are now. If there is someone listening right now and you can reach a teenager, a gangbanger, a person that don't know what to do with their life, and they've been told that they're not going to amount to anything, they're not going to be anything, and the people that they're around is giving them nothing but negativity every day. If you could look into the camera, what would you say to them to do starting today?
Well, first of all, I'd like to just reiterate back what you said about, getting the education on paper versus having the experience. I always like to believe that I wished, and wish is a elusive term, but that we were a nation of chance rather than nation of opportunity, because we do have the opportunity. Everybody, each and every individual out there have an opportunity. This is what's caused so much frustration around our youth's minds. It's like, they can't figure it out. They can't put their finger on it. It's the land of opportunity, but I'm starving, while A and B and C is moving on up to the east side, but I'm still stuck here. So I like to, reiterate about the land of chance, because after you get the opportunity, you go to school, you can become a doctor, you can become a lawyer, you can become anything you want to. Still, some establishment somewhere has to give you a chance to utilize that education. So I would like to say to the youth today, I won't talk about your gangbanging. I won't talk about your violence. I won't talk about the way you wear your hair. I won't talk about the way you wear your pants, because if I think back to my generation, I'm sure my mothers and grandmothers saying, why is this boy got his shirt tied up over his navel cord? So it's just a fad. All those things are just a fad until you start taking lives. So the essential thing that I would say to you today is don't stand before whoever you believe your maker is with that mark on you that you've took another's life.
Wow. That's something everybody should think about every day, whether you're in a gang, whether you practice violence, whether you wear your pants down, whether you wear your hat turned left to the right, to the east, to the south. You really have to remember that you're not going to get a 40 acres and a mule. So if you're waiting for that, stop feeling like you're entitled. A lot of the generation that I see today feel entitlement, not everyone, but nobody's going to give you anything. You got to go out and work for it, and you got to earn it. So I do want to again thank you for embracing us today and sharing such positive information. I do want to let individuals know on this journey to millionaire status, is it a lot of work? Yeah. Is it worth it? Yes. The end result, it is worth it. But you also have to know your worth. So I want everyone to take a minute and just think about this statement I'm going to make to you. When you get a grip, whether you're a business owner, trying to decide where you want to be, because every day is a new day. When you're serving your market, your customers, your clients, you're going to want to scale and leverage your business. You want to be an expert in whatever field you decide to go in. But on your journey to the millionaire status, you want to produce on a massive level. And you might say, well, Darci, how do I do that? When you have events, you want to have a questionnaire. You want to get feedback. Constructive criticism is the best feedback you can get, whether it's from somebody who just took your workshop or your seminar or class versus a friend or a family member. Then you want to build your audience. You want to grow with confidence. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't expect someone else to. So you have to believe in yourself. You have to feel confident about yourself. If you're going to be a speaker, you got to practice speaking. Practice in front of a mic. Get you a karaoke machine. Get you something to practice talking. You say, I want to speak in front of millions, but you ain't spoken in front of 50 people yet. So you got to figure out how you're going to entertain that audience, how you're going to captivate that audience. What are you going to say to keep them from going to sleep and thinking about what they're going to do the next day? When you start serving hundreds, then you're going to start serving thousands. When you start reaching 1,000, then you're going to start serving millions. But you gotta crawl before you can walk. You can't just say, I want this to happen, and you haven't put any time and effort into making it happen. Success is a journey, and it is a hard journey, but it is definitely worth it. And like I said, everybody has power. When you wake up in the morning, you have to decide whether you're going to be powerful or powerless. That's up to you. That don't cost you anything. Social media. If I could have had social media 15 or 20 years ago like it is now, oh my God. Social media, people don't want to change, but social media, all you need is a computer. You can use your cell phone, your tablet. If you don't have internet, go to the library. I've seen people go to the library, be at the door when they get ready to open the door. They don't even work there, but they trying to get that time on that computer so they can put their information out to people. So if you don't have social media at home, that's just an excuse. You can get internet access anywhere. You can go to Dunkin' Donuts now, Starbucks, buy a cup of coffee and sit there all day. Intertwine with people, get to know people, find out what they're looking for, what they need, and you provide the service. If they got a problem and you got a solution, then there you go. Maybe you need to be a consultant. Maybe you could be, everybody may not be cut out to be this one man play right over here. You might want to be a writer. You might want to be an actor. You might want to be on radio. You might want to be on TV. You might want to be a consultant. Whatever it is, you got to study it. You got to know it, because what's going to make them go give you their money versus giving it to somebody else? Because I want y'all to be my customer and client. Remember, I always say you can get 500 clients, but if you get 100 repeat customers and clients, then you got something going on. Mm-hmm. Then you worth it. And they'll wait for you because you worth it. You worth it. Don't undercharge, don't overcharge. That's why you got to do your homework so you can be where you need to be. So I want to share that with you all. You know, I get real sensitive when it comes to building income and 7 streams of income and taking people with you and working with people, because the struggle is real and it's a lifestyle. Being an entrepreneur is a lifestyle. Some people are not cut out for entrepreneurship. Some people need to work a 9 to 5, sit behind a desk, answer the phone. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you're building somebody else's dreams. Why not build your own? The reason I became an entrepreneur, because when I want to go on vacation or do something, I got to get 3 signatures. And I was like, no. I may pay for a trip for $299. And if the third person say no, I'm stuck. Yeah. So I had to say, you know what? I need to make the same amount of money that I can do for somebody else for myself. Because we all are somebody. So in closing, I want to tell you guys, again, thank you for embracing us today. Thank you, Oprah Winfrey. Earl Winfrey. Oh, my God. Oprah Winfrey. This is little Oprah Winfrey in training. Yeah. And Khalil Scott, thank you for handling the board today. And I see always, you know, I'm looking at the one-man play. He got his brother here in the studio. I like to see that moral family support, because that is so important on your journey. And I just don't forget about us little people. You know, when you get up there in the limelight and the stars and you know, you hanging out with Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey. Don't forget about us little people here. But I would love to have you come back, take us out. Let me give you my quote, and then he's gonna close us out. Build your own dreams, or someone else will hire you to build theirs, and that would be me. Take us home.
I have a dream that on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will one day sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering in the heat of oppression, sweltering in the heat of injustice, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that one day my 4 children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And I like to close with saying, you know, you can build the content of your character with Ms. Darci's program. If you want to be able to earn that, you know, right to chance, you know, you can wrestle a no. You can wrestle a yes, should I say, out of a no. If you put some skills in you. So, you can go out and get the opportunity, but then to get the chance, you're going to need to know something else.
Thank you. Well stated. IntellectualRadio.com, Making Waves with Ms. Darci every Tuesday and Thursday right here in iHeartRadio station. And we're out.
American Express for travel and entertainment worldwide.
Just show them this, the American Express card.
Don't leave home without it.
Someday, I may even use it on the moon. It's a box thing.
Oh! So you can replace plane tickets, traveler's checks, a lost start.
Really? That worked?
American Express's timeless safety and security are available on Apple Pay. The next evolution of membership is here.